All right, today we're jumping into a system that's been called a blueprint for the universe, a filing system for all of reality, and even a map of the human soul. We're talking about the Kabbalah, but specifically how Western magicians took this ancient framework and turned it into an incredible tool for understanding existence itself. You know, William Blake just nails this idea of seeing the biggest things in the smallest packages. But what if you actually had a map for that? I mean, a real, detailed schematic that could show you how the divine source connects to your own thoughts, how ancient myths relate to modern psychology, and how everything, and I mean everything, fits together? Well, that's what we're exploring today. So, what exactly is this map we're talking about? Well, it comes from a really ancient mystical tradition, a framework that wasn't just designed to be believed in, but to actually be used. The word Kabbalah, what does that even mean? Well, it literally translates to handed down, which points to its roots as a secret oral tradition. And it's important to get this. It's not really a religion. It's more like a kind of spiritual physics, a set of profound teachings trying to explain the nature of divinity, the mechanics of creation, and, our place in this whole grand scheme. Now, this idea took a pretty wild journey. Its roots go way back to 1st century Jewish chariot mysticism, which is all about spiritual ascent. Then, boom, 13th century Spain, a massive text called the Zohar shows up and gives the whole thing a solid structure. A few centuries later, the Lurianic school refines the whole cosmology. But for us, the real game changer happens in the 19th century. This is when secret societies like the famous Golden Dawn translate all this stuff and basically make this ancient Jewish system the absolute backbone of the modern Western magical tradition. So at the very heart of the Kabbalah is one central, super iconic diagram. And this is going to be our map for the rest of this journey, the Tree of Life. At first glance, it might look a little complicated, but the structure is actually beautiful. You've got these 10 spheres, they're called Sephiroth, which basically means emanations. Now get this. Together, these 10 concepts are said to represent every single aspect of existence, from the most abstract, unified, divine source, all the way down to the physical ground beneath our feet. And those 22 lines connecting them, those are the pathways, the processes that link all these different states of being. Before we even get into the individual spheres, just look at the overall shape. It's organized into 3 pillars. The one on the right, that's the pillar of force. Think of it as pure, dynamic, expansive, almost chaotic energy. Then the one on the left is the pillar of form. That's all about structure, containment, limits, and giving that energy a shape. The entire universe in this view is just this incredible, dynamic dance between these two ideas, and it's all balanced by that pillar right down the middle. And this is so cool. The Kabbalistic view of creation isn't one big poof, and it's all there. Nope. It's a cascade, stepping down through 4 different worlds or layers of reality. It starts way up in Atziluth, the world of pure ideas, the big blueprint. Then it steps down into Brida, creation, where spirit starts to take shape. Then Yetzirah, formation, where individual patterns pop up. And finally, it all lands in Asiya. That's our world, the physical, tangible reality we live in. Okay, so to really understand this map, we're going to take a journey. We're going to ascend, starting right at the bottom of the tree in the world we know best, and we're going to climb your way all the way up to the source. Our first stop is sphere number 10, Malkuth, which means the kingdom. This is our home base. It represents the physical world, our bodies, our senses. It's the final, dense manifestation of all the energies pouring down from the spheres above it. You could say it's the destination of that divine lightning flash of creation. All right, moving up from the purely physical, we enter the realm of our personality, and it's built from this cool little trio of spheres. First, on the right, you have Netzach. This is the raw, untamed world of our emotions, our passions, our instincts. On the left, you have its total opposite, Had, which is our intellect, our logic, the voice inside our head. And balancing right between those two is Yesod, the foundation. Think of Yesod as our ego, our subconscious, the storehouse of all the images and patterns that filter how we see reality. Okay, so moving past our everyday personality, our journey now takes us to the very center of the map. And this is a really crucial turning point in consciousness. And here it is, Tifereth, which translates to beauty. It sits right in the heart of the tree for a reason. It represents the center of awareness itself, the true self, what some people might call the higher self. It's the point of perfect balance. It's here that our everyday personality down below can actually connect with the divine levels up above. This sphere is often linked with sacrifice, because it's here that the ego, the little me, has to be let go of to connect with a much deeper sense of purpose. So, from the very center of the self, we now make our final climb. We have to cross a symbolic abyss into the most abstract, the most powerful, and honestly, the most mysterious part of the map, the top 3 spheres, known as the supernal triad. These are the ultimate cosmic blueprints. At the very top of the tree, you have Chakma, or wisdom. That's the primordial spark of creation, just pure, raw force. Then there's Bina, understanding, the great cosmic mother that receives that force and gives it the very first hint of structure. And finally, at the absolute peak is Kether, the crown. This is the source of everything, pure, undiluted unity, from which the entire universe flows. And with that, our ascent is complete. Okay, so we've journeyed all the way up the tree. Pretty cool, right? But here is the real magic. The Tree of Life isn't just a mystical diagram of creation. For the modern magician, its true power is in how you can use it as a universal tool for thinking. The 19th century occultist Eliphas Levi called it the mathematics of human thought. And that just perfectly captures this shift from seeing the Kabbalah as just a story about the cosmos to seeing it as a powerful metamodel, a system that helps us understand other systems. So the crucial point is this. Magicians like Aleister Crowley saw the Tree of Life as the ultimate mental filing cabinet. I mean, think about it. It's a language you can use to describe experiences that are really hard to put into words. You can use it to compare completely different ideas, like Greek myths, astrology, the tarot, by seeing where they all fit on the tree. It becomes this amazing tool for organizing information, for decoding symbols, and a method for journeying from what you already know into what you don't. And maybe the deepest secret the tree teaches is a holographic or fractal view of reality. The idea is that the entire pattern of the tree exists inside every single sphere. Kether contains the whole tree in potential, and Malkut, our world, contains the whole tree in its final form. Just like a hologram, where every tiny piece contains the whole image, the universe is seen as a system where the whole is always present in all the parts. And this brings us to our final thought. The Kabbalah suggests there's a fundamental pattern, a kind of language or syntax that underlies all of existence. It proposes that the very same structure that maps the cosmos also maps your own consciousness. So if the universe really is some kind of grand text, the Tree of Life might just be its alphabet, its grammar, and its key. What do you think you might discover if you learned how to read it?